How's it going, beer runners? The day has finally come for me to unfortunately retire one of my favorite pairs of running shoes, my Brooks Ghost 11s. If you've watched my videos in the past, you know how much I've loved these shoes. This is actually my second pair of the Ghost 11s that I've run in, but at about 560 miles, they are starting to wear down a bit, so needed to replace them with something fresh and new. But not to fear, I've got the new shoes just arrived, ready to unbox. Before I open them up, any guesses as to what they may be, put that down in the comments below. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the unboxing. Cheers, beer runners. As I mentioned in the intro, this is my second pair of the Brooks Ghost 11s. What I really enjoy about the Brooks Ghost, or what's kind of specific or unique about this model, is they have what Brooks calls their DNA Loft foam technology, which is really designed for a cushioned, soft, smooth ride. So what I love using these shoes for, they are a bit heavier because of the added cushion, but I love these for kind of those longer endurance runs where you have a lot of time on feet and you need the additional support to just absorb some of that shock to prevent it from being absorbed in your legs. Even though it's a little bit heavier and that may fatigue your legs a little bit more, what you gain from just the soft, the plush ride of the shoe really just protects your legs, save them so that they feel better longer in the run. So I'm willing to put on a couple ounces in the shoe's weight to get that added cushion for that longer endurance run. Now that these are starting to creep up there in miles, the sole's pretty worn down at this point. They've definitely seen better days. What I was looking for was a shoe to replace my long run shoes. I want just a more comfortable ride for the long haul. So I wanted to replace that. Obviously you saw my review, or you may have seen my review of the Kinvara 11s. I love that shoe, but it's just it's a shoe for a different style of running. It doesn't meet the need of what the Brooks Ghosts have in the past. So again, if you have a guess, now is the time to get your guess in at what I decided to go with. I guess I should go ahead and just say at this point, I did end up getting another pair of Brooks running shoes. I do really enjoy the brand, so wanted to stick with it. Do you think I upgraded to another pair of Ghosts, or do you think I went with something else? Let me know in the comments below. While you type that in, I will go ahead and get this baby opened up. Let's move these out of the way. Like I said, I just love Brooks running shoes. I've had several of theirs in the past. I was actually very close when I ended up getting the Kinvaras. I was pretty close to snagging a pair of the Brooks Launch, one of their less expensive kind of everyday running shoes. Ultimately ended up going with the Sauconys. But decided to go back to Brooks, trying to make sure I'm not giving away the surprise yet, but decided to go back to Brooks with these running, replace the Ghost with another pair of Brooks, and I am very excited about this pair of running shoes. It is a pair of shoes that I have run in the past, but an upgraded model, so drum roll please. I decided to go back to the Brooks Glycerins. I am very excited about this shoe specifically. This is the Glycerin 18s. I think the last time I ran in them, I want to say I had Brooks Glycerin maybe like 15 or 16, maybe older than that. Get both of them out here. Like I said, big fan of Brooks, and this is another shoe from their line that contains that DNA Loft material. So again, it's a plush, more comfortable ride. What the biggest decision maker was for me going with these over the Ghosts was it has less of a heel to toe drop. In the Ghosts, you have a 12 millimeter drop. In other words, the heel is 12 millimeters higher than the toe. For these, the Glycerins, you're only at 10. So it is a 2 millimeter difference. I'm just trying to get that number as low as possible. I tend to enjoy the feel of that a little bit better while I'm running. It has been a while since my last pair of Glycerins, so in my head as I'm looking at these, I'm trying to go over some of the changes between that model and this new upgraded model. Right off the back, one thing I noticed is the redesigned upper. This is a lot thinner than the last pair that I had. It looks like a much more lightweight and kind of flexible mesh, just to help conserve weight in any areas that are possible. But it looks very comfortable, very breathable. Obviously love the colors of the shoes. Brooks does a great job coming up with some fun color schemes. The sole also looks a lot different than the last pair that I had. Specifically, it kind of sticks out a bit. Hold that closer to the camera if you can see. Sticks out a little bit behind your heel, and I believe that's just to help with that transition from heel to toe. I mentioned I'm a heel to toe runner, so I do enjoy shoes that prioritize or improve that transition from heel to toe as your foot lands and strikes. They've added more of the DNA Loft foam technology, again, just to increase the overall comfort of the ride, so you can see that in the sole as well. Obviously, you can't feel what I'm feeling, but it's a very soft, it kind of, not quite Tempur-Pedic, almost like an extremely firm version of the Tempur-Pedic mattress or material, but when you push in, it just kind of absorbs your fingerprint as you're pushing into that foam right there. Just absorbs the impact of your foot as it hits the ground, absorbs that impact so that your legs aren't feeling it as much, especially in those later miles. It also looks like they've added a little bit of stability in the heel. This is a neutral shoe, but it has a little bit of a more rigid support for the heel, so I'll be interested to see how that feels on the run. And then some added cushioning in the cuff, the ankle cuff of the shoe as well. I really enjoyed the form fit of the Sauconys that I got. This feels kind of similar. It feels like it might be a little bit snug early on, but that the foam kind of molds to your feet. Other than that, it feels like that's really the only foam in the shoes themselves. Maybe a little bit in the toe, not much, but yeah, foam to just help kind of cuff and support that ankle. So interested to see how that feels. But overall, pretty lightweight shoe, good tread, good traction on the bottom. Again, a stark difference from the shoes that I got from Saucony, where they were really just trying to cut down on weight. So that was just an exposed foam sole. These I'm hoping to be able to put, again, my Ghosts made it 550 miles. I'm sure these are gonna be just as durable. Looking forward to seeing how far they'll go. But it's a flexible sole, a soft sole, but some solid tread. I tend to be incredibly frugal when it comes to my running shoes, so I do appreciate being able to buy a pair of shoes that will last, especially with the price point of the Glycerins. This is one of the more expensive models from Brooks. I believe it's about $150, so another tough call for me to make this purchase. But again, hopefully these will last substantially longer than some of the other running shoes that I've tried in the past. So looking forward to giving them a shot. Again, I love the Glycerins that I had in the past. I may argue to say they were my favorite shoes to date. Really, the only thing that has prevented me from getting them in the past is that price point. It is a little bit more expensive than the running shoes I normally get, but I am excited to give these a try. And again, I think the durability of the shoes will make that extra $50 worth it, and then some. So looking forward to this. I feel like they're going to be an incredibly comfortable ride. I think they've got some big shoes to fill, pun intended, with the Ghosts, but they are definitely up to the task. I loved them in the past. I'm sure I'm going to love them even more now, the upgraded version, and just looking forward to getting these bad boys out on their first run. Those are just some first thoughts on the Glycerins. Like I said, I've loved the shoe in the past. I'm sure I'll love it even more now. I'm really looking forward to giving these a test run, and I will report back once I've logged some miles on these on if they lived up to the hype that I've built up for them in my brain. But really looking forward to just giving these a test. So I hope you enjoyed the unboxing. If you have any other questions about the shoes, let me know, or like I said, I'll be reporting back later on with some initial thoughts, and then I'll probably do a review later on once I've put some more substantial miles on them. But I am sad to be retiring the Ghosts. I love them so much. I may just take them on a few runs here and there for nostalgia's sake, but I am very excited to give these shoes a try. So thanks for tuning in to the unboxing. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to reporting back with my initial thoughts on these shoes once I get the chance to take them out on their first run. Cheers.